The classic car market is experiencing a dramatic rebalancing. While iconic models from the 1960s are dropping in value, overall collector values are down about 10 to 14% when adjusted for inflation. In sharp contrast, cars from the 1980s, 1990s and early 2000s are seeing renewed demand and rapidly rising prices. This shift is driven by Gen X and millennial buyers who now make up a significant share of the market and are seeking out the cars that defined their formative years. Online auction platforms like Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids are accelerating this trend by increasing access, transparency and transaction volume, especially in the sub-$100,000 segment where many of these sleepers reside. In this video, we'll reveal 5 specific cars that are defying the market downturn and emerging as the next generation of must-have collectibles. Let's start by examining how one car, once dismissed for its comfort and luxury, is now leading this new wave of appreciation. To Z-car purists, the Datsun 280ZX was a betrayal. Today, those very flaws are why collectors pay 6 figures. Introduced as the successor to the revered 240Z, the 280ZX arrived with a mission that departed sharply from its predecessor's focus. Instead of raw, stripped-down performance, Nissan delivered a grand tourer tailored to late 1970s American tastes, emphasizing comfort and refinement. For years, this pivot meant the 280ZX was dismissed, its reputation shaped by plush interiors and tech options that once irked enthusiasts who valued simplicity and agility above all. The car's heavier build and softer ride were deliberate choices designed to meet the evolving priorities of buyers who wanted more than just speed. Features like advanced audio systems, climate control, and the now iconic T-top roof made the 280ZX an amusement park on wheels. Yet these upgrades, intended to broaden appeal, also suppressed its value for decades. Many saw the 280ZX as a compromise, overlooking its usability and period-correct charm in favor of the original Z's Spartan identity. As a result, prices stagnated, and the model became an afterthought in the collector world. That narrative has shifted dramatically. A new generation of collectors, driven by nostalgia for 1980s design and a renewed appreciation for analog experiences, has embraced the 280ZX's unique blend of comfort and character. The very traits that once drew criticism, its plushness, technology, and grand touring focus, now define its desirability. Market data backs this up. Haggerty's 2025 bull market list highlights the 280ZX's momentum, and multiple reports confirm values have risen up to 138% since 2019 for top condition examples. Auction results underscore this trend, with outstanding turbo models fetching up to $150,000 and an exceptional base model recently reaching $210,000. Even well-kept driver-quality cars are trending upward as scarcity of unmodified examples becomes a key factor. Collectors now recognize the 280ZX as a time capsule of its era, with dramatic styling and features that set it apart from earlier Z cars. As the market continues to reward authenticity and nostalgia, the 280ZX's rise demonstrates how shifting perspectives can transform a car's reputation and value. But this isn't the only example. Sometimes it's engineering biases rather than comfort that keep a car undervalued. The Porsche 944's story is shaped by the tension between engineering achievement and brand tradition. Launched as the successor to the 924, the 944 faced skepticism from Porsche enthusiasts who were loyal to the rear-engine air-cooled 911. Early purist criticism centered on its front-engine water-cooled layout, which set it apart from the company's established image. For years, this outsider status kept the 944 in the shadow of its more iconic sibling, limiting its appeal and holding values down. The car was often viewed as an accessible entry point rather than a legitimate collector's Porsche. Yet the 944's technical merits are difficult to ignore. Built around a transaxle configuration with the engine up front and the transmission mounted at the rear axle, linked by a torque tube, it achieved near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution. This engineering choice resulted in handling that was stable, predictable and approachable, particularly when compared to the more challenging dynamics of the period 911. The 944 offered a driving experience that was both involving and confidence-inspiring, making it a favourite among those who valued balance over tradition. Under the hood, the 944 featured a 2.5-litre inline-4, developed in-house by Porsche, derived from the 928's V8 architecture. Porsche's licensed balance shafts smoothed that four-cylinder roar, enhancing refinement and making the car feel far more sophisticated than its entry-level status suggested. This attention to engineering detail gave the 944 a unique identity, distinct from both its predecessor and its rear-engined relatives. Market trends now reflect a reappraisal of the 944's place in Porsche history. The Turbo and S2 variants in particular have seen increased demand. Clean Turbo S models now fetch north of $40,000 at online auctions like Bring a Trailer, with limited production versions such as the 944 Turbo S and Turbo Cabriolet attracting significant attention. While high production numbers once kept prices accessible, the supply of well-maintained original examples is shrinking, especially for the rarer performance models. Hagerty's valuation data highlights this shift, with excellent condition base cars commanding a substantial premium over average examples. Once entry-level curiosities, 944s now command collector respect and prices to match. This evolution in perception illustrates how engineering excellence and changing tastes can transform a car's reputation over time. The next example shows how a blend of style, performance, and renewed reliability can spark a similar turnaround in collector interest. The modern Jaguar that undercut its peers until markets woke up is the XKR X100. For years, the XKR's reputation was shaped by steep depreciation and lingering doubts about Jaguar's reliability. Its high original MSRP and the brand's checkered history with quality meant that even with its impressive specifications, the XKR struggled to gain traction among collectors. The car was seen as a risk, relegated to buyers willing to overlook its flaws in favour of luxury and performance at a discount. Yet beneath those early doubts, the XKR offered a compelling package. Its supercharged AJ V8 engine started as a 4-litre unit producing 370 horsepower, then evolved into a 4.2-litre version with 400 horsepower. This powertrain, paired with a robust Mercedes-sourced 5-speed automatic transmission, delivered both strong acceleration and refined grand touring. The XKR's balance of comfort and performance was rare for its class, but it took time for the market to appreciate what set it apart. Design remains one of the XKR's most enduring strengths. Penned by Jeff Lawson, the XKR's long bonnet, flowing lines and classic proportions pay homage to the E-Type, while updating its silhouette for a modern audience. The coupe in particular stands out, not only for its purer lines and enhanced rigidity, but also for its scarcity. With coupes 30% rarer than convertibles, the pure-lined two-door now leads the charge as collector interest intensifies. A critical turning point came as Jaguar's ownership under Ford brought significant investment in build quality and reliability. Improved manufacturing processes and updated electronics addressed many of the issues that had previously held the brand back. As a result, the XKR emerged as a more dependable and approachable choice for enthusiasts seeking a modern classic with fewer compromises. Recognition from major market analysts has followed. Hagerty's 2024 bull market list cites the XKR as a standout, with excellent condition examples projected between $26,700 and $38,900. This endorsement, supported by auction data and rising private sales, signals that the XKR's undervalued days are ending. Pristine coupes and well-maintained examples are now attracting serious attention, and the model's combination of style, performance, and improving reliability has shifted perceptions in the collector car world. This shift in the XKR's fortunes shows how changing attitudes and a focus on authentic driving experiences can elevate even once overlooked models. Some cars, however, go beyond style and luxury, offering a pure analog connection that's become increasingly rare.
The Honda S2000 stands out as a modern classic, defined by its focus on mechanical purity and driver engagement. At the centre is the F20C engine, a 2-litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that produces 240 horsepower and revs to 9,000 RPM. For over a decade, this engine held the world record for highest specific output per litre among naturally aspirated production cars, outperforming even some Ferrari and Porsche contemporaries. Its VTEC surge at 5,850 RPM became a rite of passage for enthusiasts, a sudden, dramatic shift in power and sound that left a lasting impression. Honda engineered the S2000 from the ground up as a purpose-built sports car, not a reworked sedan. Its high X-bone chassis offers exceptional rigidity, supporting a suspension tuned for agility and precision. The engine sits entirely behind the front axle, creating a front mid-engine layout that, combined with rear-wheel drive, achieves perfect 50-50 weight distribution. This setup delivers balanced handling and clear feedback, making the S2000 remarkably responsive in corners. The 6-speed manual transmission is another highlight, widely praised for its short, precise throws and mechanical feel. Many owners and reviewers consider it one of the best manual gearboxes ever made for a production car. The S2000's appeal is further heightened by its rarity in unmodified form. Over half of all S2000s have been altered with aftermarket parts, so finding a pristine, original example has become increasingly challenging. This effective scarcity is a key factor in its rising values. According to Haggerty's price guide, a first-generation AP1 model in excellent condition is valued at $39,600, with later AP2 models reaching $43,500. The limited production Club Racer CR edition commands an entirely different level, with sales well over $100,000 and a record at $200,000, pricing it alongside established exotics. Every element of the S2000's design and engineering was influenced by motorsport, with a clear emphasis on maximising driver involvement. In a world chasing torque and tech, no other roadster delivers this analogue peak, and the market knows it. Not every collector car owes its rise to technical brilliance or driving purity. Sometimes scarcity and a storied nameplate are enough to rewrite a vehicle's reputation. This shift in the XKR's fortunes shows how changing attitudes and a focus on authentic driving experiences can elevate even once overlooked models. Some cars, however, go beyond style and luxury, offering a pure analog connection that's become increasingly rare. Once a disposable fleet truck, now a scarce collector gem, the Ford Bronco 2's transformation is a study in how market dynamics and brand legacy can rewrite a vehicle's story. Introduced in 1984 as a compact, practical alternative to the full-size Bronco, the Bronco 2 was designed for utility rather than prestige. Built on the Ford Ranger platform, it found favour as a daily driver, workhorse and off-road companion, but it never enjoyed the iconic status or off-road reputation of the original Bronco. For years, its utilitarian image kept it firmly in the background, valued more for function than collectability. Despite strong sales during its production run, the Bronco 2 faced a series of challenges that hindered its long-term appeal. Early reliability concerns, particularly stability issues tied to its high centre of gravity, combined with rising competition from other compact SUVs, led to a decline in its desirability. Many Bronco 2s saw hard use, minimal maintenance, and eventual neglect. Over time, the majority were retired from service, scrapped, or left to rust. Today, only about 3% of the original production run remain in service, making well-preserved, unmodified examples genuinely rare. The resurgence in Bronco 2 values is driven largely by the so-called Bronco halo effect. The 2021 Bronco's hype lifted every model bearing the name, and collectors who are priced out of first-generation Broncos are now seeking alternatives. For those drawn to the Bronco mystique but unable to access the hero models, the Bronco 2 has become the most approachable gateway into the brand's legacy. This renewed interest has pushed the Bronco 2 into the spotlight, reframing it as a legitimate collectible rather than a forgotten utility vehicle. Market data underscores this shift. WC Shipping reports a 43% increase in Bronco 2 prices since 2022. While the average price across all conditions remains accessible at around $11,800, pristine examples are now reaching as high as $28,550 at auction. This rapid appreciation reflects the market's recognition of both the Bronco 2's scarcity and its connection to the broader Bronco story. For collectors prioritizing originality and nostalgia, the Bronco 2 now stands as a compelling, attainable entry in a market that increasingly values rarity and heritage. This evolution in perception highlights how shifting market forces and generational preferences are reshaping what defines a true collectible. What's driving the shift? Generational taste is moving toward 1980s to 2000s icons. Analog driving experiences are becoming scarce, and digital auction platforms have made the market more transparent than ever. These forces are changing which cars collectors seek out and how they find them. For collectors paying attention, this moment is your chance to secure tomorrow's classics before prices plateau. As nostalgia for analog design grows and online marketplaces highlight sleeper models, the opportunity to acquire undervalued cars is clear. If you spotted value in any of these sleepers, let us know which one you'd add to your garage in the comments.